Hello.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday.
Yes,
Welcome
indeed.
to our every Monday noon Eastern Zoom.
Yeah.
So today we are not going to talk about a product, a single product,
Yeah.
or a health condition. We're going to talk about supplement quality.
Quality.
Because first of all, I get this question so many times, which I love getting because that means you guys are well aware that there's a lot of jargon out there, a lot of just marketing out there. I don't really want to say false advertising because you can say and advertise how you wish to some extent.
To some extent.
So a lot of times you're hearing the same things out there. High quality, what else?
Well, the things we're going to talk about that matter.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So we just want to speak to you guys a little bit about what makes a supplement of quality.
Sure. And not just LiveGood either, right? Everybody, just generally
Yeah.
speaking, dietary supplements, so you guys know what to look for.
Exactly. And we wanted to let you guys know about our LiveGood process, about our quality, about our testing. That way you have the knowledge for yourself and you can also share the knowledge to your team.
Yeah.
And work on that. So Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fine.
we have a list of questions
Sure.
that I always get, but Ryan's going to take us off and we'll take any questions that you guys have about supplement quality in our products. So
Yeah. So I don't think it's about the money for you guys. I think if you're making the decision to go and buy a dietary supplement, your expectation is that you're getting what you think you are, and hopefully that's a high quality supplement. But that means a lot of different things. And Lisa's right. A lot of companies market differently. You guys, within the last year, I think Amazon, there was a study done where it was like 50% and it was done on immune health. So probably coming out of COVID, but 50% of the supplements they analyzed were adulterated or
I
misbranded.
actually posted that study on our social media. If you want to go back and look to reference it. So yeah, it's pretty alarming.
Half, 50% were falsely advertised. I got some notes here of what went on there. So let's see, over half of them had inaccurate labels. I don't know what exactly that means, but about half of them listed ingredients that were not even detectable in the product. And then just under half of them had substances in them that were not on the label. All right. So we'll get into a little bit about what that actually means, because that's a really common thing. There's a lot of.
Right. And this is one of the number one reasons why you want to buy reliable supplements, because they can do that. There can be things that are in them that you have no idea that are in them, or again, things that they say are in them and you think you're doing your body good.
Well, they can, but they should not, right? Of course. So another study was published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine that showed in the brain health segment, 67% of them had at least one ingredient on the supplement facts that was not detected, right? That means you're getting something in the product, you're saying they have something that's not actually in it, right? 83% had stuff in it that was not reported, so the opposite. So other stuff in it that
and that other stuff, that could be anything from what, like metals, fillers, soys. What were they saying?
Yeah, no, that actually tends to be in the adulteration class. So there's two types of issues with it. Kind of comes from the pharmaceutical world, but adulteration and misbranding. So adulteration, there's an economic adulteration where they say there's a more expensive ingredient in the product, but they actually substitute it with a cheaper one for economic gain. Then there's the pharmaceutical adulteration where there's a substitution. They're saying, hey, here's a supplement for sexual health. This is probably more what you're asking. Here's a supplement for supplemental health. They list the ingredients, but then they don't tell you that they actually have the active ingredient of Viagra in there. And that's a lot. That's super common. That's crazy, right? But so you're actually getting Viagra and you have no idea you are. And the reason why they want to do that is because they want the product to work and so that you buy more. And that's obviously a huge problem, right? So that's adulteration, right? And then misbranding is false labeling or misleading claims. That has a lot to do with your marketing, right? We know that we can't claim to treat, prevent, cure, or mitigate any disease state. That's the key. That is the key. You can't treat, prevent, cure, or mitigate any disease state. So when it comes down to misbranding, has a lot to do with misleading the consumer. Okay.
And I'll tell you, because of all of this that you're hearing, this is why prior to LiveGood, that Ryan and I have only purchased from provider only supplement lines, is because those were the only ones that we could actually have a little bit of trust with and a little bit of faith with, that we weren't doing harm to our bodies while we actually think we're doing good. So, and also those are very expensive supplements. So the way they're marked up.
Yeah, exactly. Real short history, guys. So goes back to 1994 when the federal government enacted the DSHEA Act, so Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. Before that, there wasn't really much regulation. And after that, that regulation kind of laid down the groundwork for the rules that dietary supplement companies need to abide by. Now, obviously, with the internet and the blow up of direct-to-consumer marketing, things have shifted and they really haven't caught up. But most people mistakenly believe that the dietary supplement industry is not regulated, and that's false. It is absolutely regulated by the FDA, but it's just regulated similar to food. And that's why we call it dietary supplements. It's a supplement to your diet. These are ingredients that are found in foods, and they are not regulated to the same extent that you would find in a pharmaceutical, right? And that's a big differentiator.
Is there FDA approval, or is that
No,
all that is
and that's
only
all going to be
for
done only under
medication?
drugs. Yep,
Okay.
only under medications, right? It's pharmaceuticals, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's a common class. So hey, the couple classes, I just want to let you know, heads up though, if you're using medications in the weight loss category, in the sexual performance category, or the physical performance category, pay attention, because those are the things you want to watch for. Those are the most commonly misbranded or adulterated classes of dietary supplements. So, all right, we're going to stop. We'll take a few questions. Now's a good time just to kind of pause before we go into the LiveGood discussion. Lisa, you have anything you want to highlight? I know we get a
yes,
lot on
because
this.
these are, again, our questions that I get all the time.
Go ahead.
Are the products third-party tested?
Right, that's one thing you want to look for. Third-party testing is, of course, big. What does that mean exactly? It means that you take bias out of the equation and you let a third party analyze it, and you do that.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. And what are the certifications specific to LiveGood? Our manufacturers, our products?
I feel like these questions are going to sabotage the rest of this discussion on the LiveGood side, but that's fine. No problem. I don't mind repeating it.
Oh,
Really. No, it's fine. It's fine. So certifications are important. So you'll hear how to determine whether or not your dietary supplement is of any quality. Really what you should look for is at least at a minimum CGMP. Not every product has a stamp of CGMP. We don't put it on our product. But it is. Everything we do is CGMP. That stands for Current Good Manufacturing Practices. And that is that's just a quality assurance and quality control program that it's very robust.
Right. The stamp is we're working on putting it on the product
website.
on the website.
Yeah.
But I tell you, like, there's so many different stamps that these products have. If we were to put them on the label, I mean, it would kind of take over the label. So they're all going to be on the website. It's working on it.
Right. Now, CGMP does a lot of different things, and I'm going to dive into that here in a minute, and about how you go into sourcing and how you determine what testing is done and all of that. But just know that CGMP is at a minimum what you should look for and expect out of a product.
Okay. Where'd that go?
Yeah, go there. Yeah, we'll talk about sourcing. Sourcing is coming up soon.
Okay, so that was.
Yeah. What else do you have? Anything?
Factor 4 is coming back. We're just out of stock.
Soon, a couple of weeks. For sure.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's all, the questions are really all relative to LiveGood. So if you want to.
Sure, that's good. Then, all right, fine, no problem. So I kind of try to break this down into like a flow. So like how the way I look at things. So in my mind, it starts not with sourcing, but ingredient selection. So why do we choose a certain ingredient? I get that a lot. And it's from my background, it's Lisa's background. It's our experience, it's our knowledge base. As a pharmacist, I've always paid attention to evidence-based medicine. So I always try to focus on things that I can expect to help a person achieve a positive health outcome. Now, notice that I'm not using words like treat, prevent, cure, mitigate any disease. But really, truthfully, I'm looking for a supplement that serves an actual purpose and has at least some clinical evidence to support it. I mean, something. There's got to be some studies done somewhere, or some prior utilization of it in another example that I feel good about it, right? And then it's usually something that I also consume, that we use, that we've used in a clinical setting with people and had positive results.
Right.
So
and when you go to studies, there are no specific studies on each of our product, but on the ingredients that you choose.
Correct.
They have the studies.
And it has a lot to do, truthfully, with can the body even use it? Can the body use it? Bioavailability. And that question was on there. Bioavailability. What does that mean? Is like basically just means how much of that ingredient is available for the body to actually use. How much gets absorbed into the blood, distributed to the tissues, and exerts some biological effect or some clinical effect. And that's what we're looking for when we say bioavailability.
But this also varies, because the question that comes in is, but what is the bioavailability of something? But that's also dependent on.
There's so much interpatient variability. Yeah, so much. And it's not exactly known to that extent. Like, how could it possibly be known? There's a lot of factors that influence the bioavailability. Do you have a certain disease state? Do you have Crohn's? Do you have anything like irritable bowel disease? Is there, different medications, different foods? There's age. There's just so many factors that can affect it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So bioavailability is one, of course, when we look at ingredient selection. We're trying to choose the highest quality, most bioavailable ingredients for you.
Okay.
Yes. All right, what's next?
Well,
Oh, I'm still going.
yeah.
Sorry. So, all right. So let's just assume that we're identifying ingredients that people need. All right. That's awesome. Great. Now we need to go to sourcing it. How do we ensure that who we're buying these ingredients from have a decent, a top-notch quality assurance, quality control program that is high quality. There is no cross-contamination, that we don't have to worry about quality of those ingredients, right? And that's ultimately what it comes down to. So our manufacturing partners obviously are CGMP. Within CGMP, there's a qualification standard for every raw ingredient supplier. So we go through and literally have them fill out an extensive, very thick, very robust packet to ensure that what their policy and procedures are meet our requirements. And that would be done on every single ingredient. Then we actually go as far as to test the ingredients in the raw form prior to even ordering and using that ingredient in our product. We test them, and that's where testing comes in. So testing is going to be at a minimum identity, so it is what you say it is, potency, it has the strength that we advertise it as, and purity, that it does not contain any contaminants. There's no mildews, there's no bacteria, so that's the microbial testing. There's no heavy metals or other contaminants that we'd be suspected of causing a problem with that product, right? So there is the sourcing aspect, right? Sourcing is everywhere. It's worldwide.
Well, right. I get that question a lot. Where do you source your ingredients from? I'm like, well, which
whoever
one?
has the best, whoever has the best product, really,
Right.
and whoever has the best documentation, and whoever has the best working history that shows that there's proof. I mean, for instance, the ashwagandha that we source, it's in our organic super grains, that's an India-based product. I mean, that's KSM-66. You can look it up. You can read entirely about their process. Feel great about that. And the Reds product, the aronia berry, the chokeberry, comes from a family farm in Iowa.
Right.
I always talk about that one because I love that one. There's a lot of stories like that, sourcing. We chose to source a branded ingredient. So we have quattrofolic in our multivitamin for our folic acid. It's a branded ingredient. They branded a folate that's methylated because it's more bioavailable. It's a better, higher quality form of folic acid. So,
right.
So sourcing is critical, right? I mean, that's where you really want to bore in and make sure that that you're getting the best. That's where the quality really comes from. And then, of course, if it's an organic product, meaning if it comes from the earth, if it has any chance of any contaminants, then you're going to go USDA certified organic. And that's what we've done. These three actually are our three champion USDA certified organic products, because I wouldn't accept them any other way. There'd be no way I would be willing to consume these products without knowing they're USDA certified organic.
Definitely.
So,
and you talk about our CGMP certified manufacturers. We do currently have two.
Well, that's us. I mean, those are our partners. Yeah, those are our partners. And they're the ones in Florida and the others in New York, both CGMP, NSF as well. So NSF is the, gosh, I just drew a blank on what it stands for. But if you're an athlete, we don't certify our products, but we do manufacture them in an NSF approved facility, certified facility. To actually have an NSF sport certification would mean that these products are allowed to be used in all athletes, collegiate, professional, Olympic, the World Doping Agency, all of those different agencies certify. NSF Sport would certify that they're approved. We don't go as far as to do the certification because we didn't think we need to. And if we do in the future, then we'll maybe choose to do that. But they are manufactured in an NSF facility, which is a very high CGMP level certification.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so everything again is tested and manufactured in the USA.
Oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah. Sourcing worldwide, manufacturing domestic United States.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the NSF Sport cert that we have at our facility now is 455-2, which is the most up to date current. We passed without any hits on it, 100%. Awesome. And the inspector was actually not seen this yet. So first time we've seen it. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal because those certification boards, they come in and their job is to ensure to preserve their brand and the authenticity. So they're not there to provide any favors.
Right. And we do the testing that Ryan was talking about. We do provide the certificates of analysis at the very bottom of the website. You'll see certificates of analysis, click on it. You'll see them all listed there. And so I get this question a lot when someone's asking me, let's just say Super Reds, because it's right here. How do you compare this product to our Super Reds? And I might look at the product and it might seem fairly decent and it might be organic as well. And the price might be, it's usually typically more, but regardless of price, because we're talking quality. But then I look at the product, I'm like, I have no idea this company's quality. I would never buy a supplement off of Amazon or from GNC or from it's just, you just don't know enough. And that's the biggest problem. I mean, if they don't provide it to you, then you're investigating, you're digging, and you just have to choose a reliable source. And we're here to help you understand how reliable and transparent we at LiveGood are.
So we talked about ingredient selection, we talked about sourcing, we talked about raw ingredient testing, just chatted about manufacturing, the quality, the standards of the facility. And then it goes into finished product. So then your finished product comes out, whether it's a capsule or a powder, whatever it might be. We then test that again. So it goes into quarantine. It stays there until, again, identity, potency, purity, microbials, heavy metals. Like we're doing finished product testing, right. And then we move to fulfillment and distribution and storage. Right. So, which is also, guys, a big deal. Like where you store your product, where your products are stored is a big deal. It has to be in climate controlled. Like you'll hear me say, like, don't ever store your stuff in the shower or in the bathroom because of that heat and humidity can increase the degradation rate of your active ingredients. So make sure that you store them in a cool, dry place.
Right. And our warehouse where we do our storage is in Florida.
Yep. Yeah.
And climate control.
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously in climate control because Florida wouldn't be the ideal place for that.
Right.
Exactly.
It's getting hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot now.
What about a question just about our proprietary blends, and part of that being our full transparency? What do we do that's different than most?
We list every ingredient. The only one with the exception, I don't know how it happened. We're going to correct it, but the coffee.
Right.
The coffee lists some proprietary blend there, and it doesn't break it down, but we will break it down, especially on the website here soon. And we have the breakdown if you want it emailed to you. But you'll notice everything is broke down, so you know the quantity, the weight of every ingredient.
That's the big difference. So a lot of companies, which is what you'll see on our coffee that we are going to change, but you'll see the ingredients of a proprietary blend. Sometimes you won't, but usually you'll see the ingredients, but you have no idea how much of that ingredient is in there. So typically you might have like your cheapest ingredient and your least important ingredient that's in there. It might be the highest amount in a product, and you have and then the ingredient you really, really, really want might be like a little sprinkle.
Yeah,
and you have no idea. So we want to let you know the exact amount of each ingredient in a proprietary blend.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the next question?
I think that was it for me from ones I commonly get.
Keep going. Okay. All right, so to close, we're running 20 minutes after here, so we're wrapping up. So LiveGood doesn't have every product. So what are some things that you can do? So I don't know that I fully agree with Lisa that you wouldn't buy from Amazon or GNC, but if you do buy from them, you definitely should look for CGMP cert on there somewhere. Do your due diligence. See if they offer you the testing. If it's third party, try to find the COA, take a look at it, try to track down where they manufacture. I know it's not easy. And that's why once you find a brand or a few brands, and if you want recommendations, please feel free to email us. We'll tell you a couple of companies that we think have high quality product that you can easily source from. The unfortunate side is you're going to pay a lot for them. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. So when you're shopping for ingredients or supplements, just be careful, be aware, be wise, spend your money wisely. And again, use us as a resource. Or any questions, comments? What else is coming in? A few more questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it though. Anyway, I think it's an important topic, guys. I'm glad you tuned in. Thank you for watching.
Any further questions, please go ahead and email me, lisa@livegood.com, and I'll get you those answers.
All right, guys. Have a super productive rest of your day and rest of your week. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.